there comes a stage in life when people stop asking, how successful am I? And start asking, how healthy am I? After the age of 70, many people wake up every morning with stiffness in the body, tiredness in the mind, and a silent fear in the heart. Some depend on medicines to sleep, medicines to walk, and medicines just to feel normal again. But have you noticed something beautiful? There are also elderly people who smile more, walk peacefully, and live with lightness in their hearts even at this age. What is their secret? It is not expensive treatment, it is not magic, and it is not luck. The real difference lies in their daily routine. Because after 70, your routine quietly becomes your medicine. The way you wake up, the way you eat, the way you think, and the way you spend your day either heals your body slowly or weakens it silently. Today, we are going to solve one of the biggest problems people face after 70, feeling physically weak, mentally exhausted, emotionally lonely, and completely dependent on medicines for happiness and health. And by the end of this video, you will understand how a few simple daily habits can bring back energy, peace, strength, and joy into life. Anything complicated. The quality of your morning quietly decides the quality of your entire day. Many people after 70 begin their day with worry. The moment they open their eyes, they think about pain in the knees, medicines on the table, doctor appointments, or problems in the family. And when the mind starts with stress, the body follows with weakness. But peaceful people treat mornings differently. They do not rush. They do not fill their mind with noise immediately. They allow the body and mind to wake up slowly, gently, and gratefully. Imagine two elderly men. One wakes up and immediately switches on the television news. Negative headlines, loud debates, fear, anger, all these emotions enter his mind before sunlight even touches his face. The other person wakes up quietly. He sits near a window. He takes a deep breath. He folds his hands in gratitude for another day of life. He drinks warm water slowly. He spends a few minutes stretching his body and calming his thoughts. Now tell me, whose body will feel lighter through the day? After 70, peace is not a luxury anymore. It becomes a necessity. Even doctors say stress affects blood pressure, sleep, digestion, and immunity. But many people only focus on medicines while ignoring the emotional chaos they carry every morning. The body listens to the mind more than we realize. If your mornings begin with fear, complaints, and negativity, your body slowly loses enthusiasm for life. But if your mornings begin with calmness, gratitude, and movement, your body responds with strength. One beautiful habit after 70 is walking slowly in the morning sunlight. Not to prove fitness, not to compete with anyone, just to remind the body I am still alive and life is still moving. Morning sunlight helps sleep, mood, bones, and energy. But beyond science, it gives something deeper hope. Another important habit is avoiding emotional overload in the morning. Many elderly people begin the day by overthinking their children's problems, financial worries, or regrets from the past. But carrying yesterday's pain every morning is like drinking poison slowly. At this age, protecting peace is wisdom. This does not mean ignoring responsibilities. It simply means learning that constant stress has never healed anyone. A calm mind heals the body faster than an anxious mind. And then comes one more powerful habit: speaking kindly to yourself. Some people become their own biggest critic after aging. They say things like, I am useless now, I cannot do anything, that my good days are over. But the mind believes whatever it hears repeatedly. If you speak hopeless words every day, your energy starts disappearing even faster. But if you remind yourself, I still have value, I still have wisdom, I still have purpose, something inside begins to wake up again. Because aging is not the end of usefulness. It is the beginning of deeper understanding. After 70, life may slow down physically, but emotionally and spiritually it can become richer than ever. And this richness begins with the way you start your mornings. A peaceful morning is not a small habit. It is silent medicine for the heart, mind, and body. After the age of 70, people often focus only on physical health. They talk about sugar levels, blood pressure, joint pain, medicines, and hospital visits. But very few people stop and ask an important question. What is happening inside the mind? Because many times the body is not only tired from age, it is tired from emotional weight. There are elderly people who carry years of stress silently. Some carry regrets from the past. Some feel hurt by their own family members. Some feel lonely even while living in a house full of people. And some slowly start believing that they are no longer important. The body may age naturally, but emotional pain accelerates suffering. Have you noticed something interesting? When a person feels emotionally peaceful, even small health problems become easier to handle. But when the mind is disturbed, even small discomfort feels unbearable. That is why inner peace becomes one of the greatest medicines after 70. Many people spend their whole life earning money, raising children, building homes, and fulfilling responsibilities. But in this journey, they forget to take care of their emotional world. And later in life, when responsibilities reduce and silence increases, all the unhealed emotions suddenly become louder. This is why many elderly people feel restless at night. Not because the room is noisy, but because the mind is noisy. The heart remembers old arguments. The mind replays old disappointments. And slowly, stress enters the body like an invisible disease. Peace does not come from having a perfect life. Peace comes from learning how to stop fighting every small thing. After 70, protecting mental calmness is as important as protecting physical health. One of the biggest causes of emotional pain at this age is expectations. Parents expect children to behave exactly as they imagined. Grandparents expect constant attention and appreciation. People expect life to remain the same as it was 20 years ago. But life changes. People change. Situations change. And suffering begins when the mind refuses to accept change. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is emotional maturity. A peaceful elderly person is not someone whose life is perfect. It is someone who has learned where to invest emotional energy and where to let go. There is another silent problem many people face after 70: loneliness. Sometimes children become busy, friends move away, social circles become smaller, and slowly people begin spending more time alone with their thoughts. Now, loneliness itself is not dangerous, but negative thinking during loneliness becomes dangerous. If a person sits alone and only remembers pain, betrayal, failures, or fears, the mind becomes heavy. The body also starts responding with tiredness and sadness. But if loneliness comes time for prayer, reflection, gratitude, reading, or peaceful hobbies, then solitude becomes healing. The same silence can either break a person or strengthen them. That choice depends on the direction of the mind. Another beautiful habit after 70 is forgiveness. Many elderly people carry emotional wounds for decades. Someone spoke harshly years ago. A relative created problems. A friend betrayed trust. And even after so many years, the pain still lives inside the heart. But holding anger for years is like carrying stones in your pocket while expecting to walk comfortably. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was right. It simply means you no longer want to destroy your peace because of it. At this age, peace is too precious to waste on resentment. Some people spend their final years counting complaints. Others spend their final years counting blessings. And both create completely different lives. Gratitude has a powerful effect on emotional health. When people begin appreciating simple things, morning sunlight, a healthy meal, the voice of a loved one, the ability to walk, the gift of another day, the heart starts feeling lighter. Happiness after 70 rarely comes from achievements. It comes from learning to enjoy small moments deeply. Even science today says emotional health affects immunity, sleep quality, heart health, and recovery. But long before science explained it, life already showed us this truth. A peaceful mind gives strength to the body. That is why elderly people who smile more, forgive easily, pray sincerely, and stay emotionally balanced often appear younger than their age. Not because life spared them from pain, but because they learned how not to let pain control their inner world. After 70, the body may not always remain strong, but the heart can still remain gentle, the mind can still remain calm, and the soul can still remain full of light. And when the mind feels peaceful, healing begins quietly from within. After the age of 70, the body starts speaking a different language. In younger years, the body tolerates carelessness. People sleep late, eat unhealthy food, ignore exercise, and still somehow continue running through life. But after 70, the body becomes more honest. It immediately shows the consequences of daily habits. And this is where many people make a mistake. They search for stronger medicines instead of building stronger routines. But the truth is simple. A body that keeps moving survives better than a body that stays inactive. Many elderly people slowly reduce movement because of fear. Fear of falling, fear of pain, fear of weakness. So they sit more, walk less, and avoid physical activity completely. In the beginning, this feels comfortable. But slowly, the body becomes stiffer, weaker, and more dependent. The less the body moves, the more problems begin to grow. Movement is not punishment for the body. Movement is nourishment for the body. Even a simple daily walk can improve circulation, digestion, balance mood, and energy levels. Gentle stretching helps joints remain flexible. Light movement keeps the muscles alive. The goal after 70 is not to become young again, The goal is to remain capable, independent, and active for as long as possible. There are elderly people who still climb stairs slowly, water plants, walk in parks, visit friends, and handle small daily tasks themselves. And because they continue using their body continues supporting them. The body respects consistency more than intensity. You do not need extreme workouts. You need regular movement. Even 15 minutes of walking daily can slowly transform physical and emotional health. And something beautiful happens when the body moves. The mind also becomes lighter. Many people think exercise only changes muscles. But movement also removes emotional heaviness. It reduces stress, improves sleep, and creates positivity inside the mind. That is why people often feel mentally fresh after a peaceful walk. The body and mind are deeply connected. When one improves, the other also begins healing. Now let us talk about another silent medicine after 70 simple food. As people age, digestion becomes slower. The body no longer processes heavy, oily, sugary, or excessive food the same way it once did. But many people continue eating according to old habits while expecting new health. Then slowly come acidity, bloating, weakness, diabetes, high blood pressure, and fatigue. Food after 70 should not only satisfy the tongue, it should support the body. Simple food becomes powerful at this stage of life. Fresh vegetables, seasonal fruits, enough water, light homemade meals, balanced portions. These ordinary things quietly become extraordinary medicine. But modern life has created another problem. People eat while watching television, they eat while worrying, and they eat while arguing. And when the mind is disturbed, even healthy food does not benefit the body fully. Peaceful eating is also important. Eating slowly, chewing properly, and remaining calm during meals improves digestion more than people realize. Have you noticed how grandparents from older generations often lived healthier lives despite having fewer medical facilities? Their lives were simpler. They walked more. They ate fresh homemade food. They followed routines. They slept on time. And they carried less mental overload compared to today's lifestyle. Modern medicine is valuable, but daily habits still shape long-term health. Another important thing after 70 is avoiding excess. Excess sugar, excess salt, excess overeating, excess sitting, excess stress. The body at this age seeks balance, not overload. And balance creates stability. There is also emotional wisdom hidden in simple living. Many people spend their younger years chasing taste, luxury, and comfort endlessly. But later in life, they realize that health itself is the greatest luxury. A person with peaceful sleep, steady energy, and the ability to LK freely is already wealthy in ways money cannot buy. After 70, health is no longer built in hospitals alone. It is built in kitchens, morning walks, sleep routines, breathing habits, and everyday discipline. Small habits repeated daily become silent protectors of the body. And perhaps this is the most beautiful truth about aging. The body may become slower, but life can still remain deeply meaningful when we care for it with patience, movement, simplicity, and love. After the age of 70, one of the deepest human needs is not just medicine, comfort, or financial security. It is connection. Many elderly people are not suffering because of physical illness alone. They are suffering because they slowly begin feeling disconnected from life itself. Children become busy with careers. Grandchildren become occupied with screens and schedules. Friends move away or pass on. And suddenly a person who once carried an entire family on their shoulders starts feeling invisible inside their own home. This emotional emptiness affects health more than people realize. A lonely heart weakens the spirit. And when the spirit weakens, the body also begins losing energy. Human beings are not designed to live emotionally isolated. Even a short, meaningful conversation can bring warmth to the heart. Sitting with loved ones, sharing stories, laughing together, or simply feeling heard gives emotional strength that no medicine can provide. That is why elderly people who stay socially connected often remain mentally sharper and emotionally happier. Connection gives life movement. But connection is not only about others. It is also about staying connected to purpose. Many people retire from work and unknowingly retire from life itself. They stop waking up with excitement. They stop learning. They stop contributing. And slowly the days begin feeling repetitive and empty. But purpose is what keeps the soul awake. A person does not become old because of age alone. A person becomes old when they stop feeling useful. There are elderly people who still guide younger generations, teach children, care for gardens, help neighbors, read books, pray sincerely, learn new skills, or serve society in small ways. And because their life still carries meaning, their mind remains active. Purpose gives the heart a reason to continue moving forward. It does not have to be something grand. Even feeding birds can create purpose. Even calling a friend regularly can create purpose. Even sharing wisdom with grandchildren can create purpose. Small acts done with love keep life alive from within. Another powerful medicine after 70 is routine. The human body loves rhythm. Sleeping at a fixed time, waking up consistently, eating meals regularly, walking daily, praying or reflecting peacefully, these routines create stability inside the body and mind. But many people after retirement lose all structure. They sleep randomly, eat carelessly, stay inactive, spend hours worrying or watching television endlessly. And slowly, confusion enters both the mind and body. A healthy routine creates emotional safety. When life feels uncertain, routines quietly hold people together. Even simple habits repeated daily create strength. Morning walks, afternoon rest, evening conversations, light stretching, reading, prayer, gratitude. These habits may look ordinary from the outside, but inside they create discipline, emotional balance, and peace. Routine also protects people from overthinking. An idle mind often becomes a home for anxiety, fear, and sadness. But when the day has healthy structure, the mind remains engaged in positive living. There is another important truth many people discover late in life. Happiness after 70 rarely comes from excitement. It comes from stability. Simple mornings, healthy meals, meaningful conversations, peaceful sleep. A calm heart, these small things become priceless. Modern society often glorifies speed, ambition, and constant achievement. But aging teaches a very different lesson. Life was never only about running ahead. Life was also about learning how to sit peacefully within yourself. And perhaps this is why some elderly people radiate calmness even during difficulties. Their joy no longer depends on outside success alone. It comes from inner acceptance, meaningful routines, loving relationships, and spiritual peace. After 70, people begin understanding something deeply important. The richest life is not the busiest life. It is the most peaceful one. And peace grows when a person feels connected, useful, disciplined, and emotionally present in everyday moments. Because in the end, routines do more than organize your day. They protect your mind. They strengthen your body. They calm your emotions. And they quietly remind you that life is still worth showing up for every single morning. As we grow older, life slowly teaches us a very powerful truth. Health is not built in one day. And peace is not found in one medicine. After 70, the small things become the big things. The way you wake up in the morning, the way you speak to yourself, the food you eat, the people you spend time with, the peace you protect inside your heart, all of these quietly shape the quality of your life. Many people wait for a miracle to feel better. But often, the real miracle is hidden inside simple daily habits repeated with love and consistency. A calm mind heals faster. A moving body stays stronger. A grateful heart feels lighter. And a meaningful routine gives life purpose again. Growing older is not about becoming weaker every day. It is about becoming wiser in how you live every day. So if you are above 70 or if you love someone who is, remember this. The greatest medicine is not always found in a bottle. Sometimes it is found in peaceful mornings, gentle movement, kind thoughts, simple food, meaningful connection. And a heart that still chooses joy every single day.